So thank y'all for pulling up. If you're in here, go ahead and wipe your feet. Hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Love for you to join this family of college football fans, especially Sooner fans that we have up in here. If you're listening to the audio version, rate, review, give us 5 stars, as we mentioned before. So let's talk about some recruiting, right? There's some recruiting to talk about because Oklahoma has been doing some stuff that a lot of fans don't like, right? There's one thing that I've been hearing a lot of complaints about, Coop, been complaining about NIL. Why aren't we paying all these players at all these other schools to come here, right? Why don't we just bring everybody in, all the best players in the country? Why don't we hoard all the talent like Alabama did? Why aren't we taking advantage of the fact that Alabama's hemorrhaging right now? Why? And so before I really get into the recruiting aspect of it, let's talk about this, right? Did you check out the Polynesian Bowl, Coop?
Yes.
You see those two dudes in the middle that's coming to Oklahoma? Both get
I know.
fumble recoveries for touchdowns and sacks.
It's. I will say this: there's a lot of expectation for David Stone, but Jackson could be the difference maker for what happens here. Those guys know each other very, very well. Jane Jackson he's shaping up to do some damage. It's going to be good, and I love that relationship with them. But yeah, when is the last time in an All Star or All Star game or anything like that you can say I was really really excited to watch all those OU defensive linemen just bowl out? I mean, last year a little bit with PJ, but now you're starting to see some stuff because Jackson. Uh, Aaron Donald is more of a David Stone type of, or I guess David Stone's more of an Aaron Donald body type. But Jaden Jackson has got a little bit of that Vita Vea, some of those bigger nose tackles who are just going to plug up. So I'm here for it. I'm excited, and it doesn't not matter. Doesn't matter what we have coming back because when you bring in, and I'm not going to say it, but when you bring in guys like that, it pushes everybody. And then now you've got all these defensive tackles that are there. Dejon Terry is going to be able to, to be there as the starter and to really, really show them the ropes, have the conversations about the SEC with those two guys. So yeah, it's Jackson is a man, and he is somebody that you should be really, really excited about. And that's not to take anything away from David because David is psychotic. I mean, he is just an absolute beast in the middle too. But it's violence with the hands. It is quick footwork. I mean, both of those guys. They practice all these things, and I promise you, as they're getting coached up individually, they're sharing that with each other. And listen, Oklahoma commit defensive tackle with a fumble recovery touchdown was uttered 2 times. So that's awesome.
Yeah, that's something that we, like you said, we haven't really seen before here. And that's probably the thing that jumped out the most is we're recruiting the guys we want, right? Like, of course, we would like to get more. We would like to get every top player, but there are particular players that this staff is going after. And I'm going to be 100% honest with a lot of you. Yes, I would love for our NIL to just go blow money on every single player that's possible out there.
Yeah.
But I also would like for us to be smart about who we go after, and we don't go after dudes that's going to just take the money and then jump right back into the portal. Because this is something I did notice. There was a few dudes that I really liked that were in the portal, especially when, let me pull back. We had concerns about the wide receiver room going into last season, right? You remember that, Coop?
Yes.
There was a lot of conversations about that. People were asking questions. What's our wide receiver room going to look like? Oh my God, it's not very good. All we've got is Farouk, and everybody else really isn't all that good. We don't know what's going on. And so Oklahoma spent some time in the portal. They started
Mhm.
filtering through guys. You had like Cephas that pulled up. Um, we also had the tall guy. Was it Brogdon that ended up at Arkansas? We had Dorian Singler who ended up at USC.
At
We had a lot
USC.
of dudes that pulled up, right? And I think this is the thing that was fascinating about him is that Oklahoma saw Andrew Anthony, who statistically wasn't very good at Michigan. Like, look at the numbers. He
No.
wasn't, but he also wasn't really used. There was a talent there, but he wasn't used. So
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma said, you know what? That's who we want. Get him. We got him. Hired Emmett Jones, got him. You brought in Andrew Anthony and all the other 3 or 4 targets we went after, Trey Harris, all of them. We didn't get any of them, right? We didn't get them. Hear me out on this. It was because the staff actually liked the room that they currently had over the dudes coming in. They just say, you know what, we really need just one more piece to add to what we're doing because we like the guys we recruited. The guys we recruited the last 2 years think we're solid. We still got the veteran in Stoops. We still got some of the young guys. I think we like our room the way it is. Cool beans. Guess what happened after that? That became our strongest room this past season, right? Everybody raves about the way the room plays now.
Yep.
But before this season, we complained about the way this room looked. I add this to it. And this is something that I recommend a lot of you Sooner fans think about. As soon as we look at who the staff is going after in all the positions, if they get certain players, it's probably because they wanted those particular guys, for one. And two, those dudes are willing to come in and compete instead of dictate what's going to happen in their recruitment, right? A lot of dudes that hit the portal because I mentioned that because those wide receivers we recruited, half of them are back in the portal for a second time.
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all want guys like that on your team? No, you
Singer.
don't.